Guys, it's August of 2025. Why are we still making posts like this on YieldMax's subreddit? Owning ULTY feels like having a rental property, but without tenants, repairs, or 2 a.m. phone calls. It's a price I like. It pays high rent, and I just keep collecting, even if the value dips. Since I'm young enough, hey, trust me, we don't need to know that you're young. You don't need to spell it out. We can already tell by this post that you are young and a brand new investor. Why anybody would want to buy shares of ULTY, an ETF that has only been out for a year and a half, compared to real estate, something that has made more millionaires than any other sector in recorded history, I don't know. But this is the type of delusion that you see on this subreddit. So we're going to be going over a couple of YieldMax Reddit posts, and we'll talk about how these people have no idea what they're talking about, and we'll prove them wrong with some facts and logic, and we'll probably hurt some people's feelings on the way to showing them how wrong they are. ULTY now has a mouth-watering yield of close to 121%. That's the trailing 12-month yield. Now, for most rational investors, this would definitely raise some alarm bells, some red flags, but no. If you tell any YieldMax lover that these types of yields are unsustainable, you're just called a hater, that you just don't understand, that you're stuck in the old way of investing, that you don't understand the new way of investing. That's the old Warren Buffett, get rich till you're 65 type of investing. This is the get rich now, get rich, retire early, Lambo in your 20s type of investing. Then this is also a secret community. This is the secret layer of the internet that only special people were smart enough to discover. They found the secret to retiring early with YieldMax products. The new get rich ice cream flavor of the week is now ULTY. Let's talk a little bit more about what this fund is doing. Well, when the graph looks like this, down 70% since inception, they give you all this for a very low expense ratio here, 130 basis points. That is considerably more expensive than just a standard S&P 500 index fund at around, 3 basis points, and you will get far better returns, and it's been time and tested, proven to give great returns year after year on average. But guys, ULTY is the secret cheat code. It's a way to YOLO and print more money. As long as we believe and we don't fail to suspend the belief and we don't say anything bad about ULTY, it will just continue to do good. Surely the fund managers, they're going to be good stewards of our money. They're going to take care of our money. High expense ratio to give results like this? I mean, what am I missing? Let me just hand over all my hard-earned money. I work so hard in my 9-to-5 job, and what better way to just give it all to these people to invest it for me and, walk away with results like this. Negative 70%, next year they might aim for negative 100%. Now, the ULTY lovers, they will say, none of this actually mattered. You see, in April, they apparently started a new trading strategy that apparently has more protective puts. This means that they will be buying protective puts to soften some of the big blows when there is an inevitable down day in the market. Listen, to give this high of a dividend yield of 120%, that means the puts that they're buying, they're probably actually very conservative. As in, unless there's a big doomsday event happening, ULTY is going to still experience a good amount of those losses. Especially because they're not buying companies based on the fundamentals. Rather, they're just buying the stocks that have the highest implied volatility, aka which ones will give them the juiciest premiums from the options trading that they do. Thus, bigger dividends that get returned to you. Now, in this wonderful Seeking Alpha article by Elena, they actually do break down what this fund actually holds. And we can see that normally when you buy an ETF, it gives you a big diversified basket of some great high quality companies. But with ULTY, you're just getting a big basket of garbage with high exposure to low revenue, high beta garbage, all bundled in one. This is where we get companies like AppLovin, a very volatile ad tech company. We get other companies that are speculative AI lending platform. What could go wrong there? We get companies like Rigetti, which we will take a closer look at here shortly, that has pre-revenue quantum computing. So these are not even profitable companies. We get plenty of crypto exposure, something that's notorious for being very speculative. And we get even more AI content processor type stocks. Very volatile, often in very infancy stages of whatever that sector may one day look like. And it's a very high risk, high reward. And with ULTY, you get all of it in one big basket. Aren't you glad this is what you're spending your hard-earned money on? Does this sound like an investment that you would want to put all your hard-earned money into? Does this sound better than the actual physical house that you can see, touch, and that has consistently shown that it can maintain and, in fact, appreciate its value over the years? I know, I'm destroying your feelings. You're going to be commenting how I'm being rude. But guess what? Losing money also hurts. Would you rather have me upset you by telling you that this is not some sort of get-rich-quick scheme? Or would you actually rather lose money in real life and then wonder, if only somebody had warned me about some of these risks? You know, all these grifters making YouTube videos promoting this nonsense. Every day I look and it's like,
get rich from ULTY today, retire off ULTY tomorrow, 150% yield from ULTY. Don't go to sleep without knowing this information about ULTY.
You know what? These people are making a lot of money off of you. They're making a lot of ad revenue from all the clicking and watching of these videos, selling you some sort of fantasy dream. And even with me telling you this, you're still not going to listen. You're only going to listen to people that think exactly the same as you. It's one of the primary investing sins that newer investors make, and it's one that they're going to have to pay for. You really think a lot of these YouTubers care about what your best interest is? Let's take a closer look at this Rigetti company. Wow, in the past year, it's up 1,700%. That's amazing. But when we take a closer look, we can see that this stock has huge swings. One day it will be high, one day it will be low, and then the other day it will be high again. Now, if you're just simply buying and owning the stock and it just gradually goes up, that would be great. That'd be no problem. But when you're constantly doing options trading where your upside is capped, meaning you're not going to experience the full upside, but you don't really have much downside protection, and there's going to be days when the stock just goes down, that could cause serious NAV erosion over time. This company has a very high short interest, nearly 15%. That means a lot of people are betting against this stock. They want to see it fail. They believe in it so much that they're actually willing to put their money where their mouth is and bet against the stock. 15% short interest is really high. We can see there's no PE ratio because this fund actually doesn't make money yet. And in fact, it has a negative earnings per share. Let's take a look at its financials. Oh my gosh, look how terrible some of these financials are. I want to keep in mind, this is in millions, right? So their most recent 12 months, they have only made $7.9 million. That is pennies compared to what many of these big companies are making. But because Rigetti has a high implied volatility, it's going to be part of ULTY. And you're going to get exposure to this company that makes very little money every single year. When we go down to its actual net income, you can see it loses money consistently every single year. Is this the type of company that you want your hard-earned money invested into? Now, ULTY has a very high fund turnover percentage of 717%, meaning stocks are constantly being added and dropped, so you don't even know what garbage stocks you're getting every week. Now, if you think I'm an ULTY hater, you're actually wrong. I'm actually a hater of all these get-rich ice cream flavor ETFs of the week, and we can see here in this little graph that there's basically a new one every couple months. We can see back in the day, it used to be Tesla. And then it looks like a lot of people rolled into NVIDIA, and then Coney came around, gave some good returns for a little bit, but then YieldMax came out, and of course ULTY and Misty have just really taken the crown in recent times. But you can see a lot of people are starting to turn against Misty, and more people just keep investing in ULTY. I wonder why that is. Hey guys, how's that Misty investment going for you guys? Down 21% in the last month. Imagine you're in retirement and you see nearly 1/4 of your entire portfolio value go down in the span of a month. And keep in mind, this is during a bull market. It is so hard to lose money during a bull market, but a lot of these funds are finding a way. So what are people doing? They went from this get-rich ice cream flavor of the month to the next get-rich ice cream flavor of the month. And that's why they've rolled into ULTY. $3.3 billion in assets under management. It is not a small ETF anymore, guys. The nonsense continues to spread. It's a disease. It's a sickness. These people need to get tested. They have high yield dividend derangement syndrome, and it's spreading like wildfire. Well, guys, I can keep preaching and preaching, but I know the high yield dividend warriors have already clicked off this video because I didn't just spew a bunch of nonsense to them that they could happily agree with. But you're a smart investor. You're probably not making the same dumb mistakes. Want to see a fantastic portfolio that continues to outpace the market over the past 3 years? Check out my Patreon in the link below. Want to make fun of other high yield dividend warriors? Come join the Discord. We talk about all their stupid invest antics all the time in there.
He doesn't want to work. He's on drugs. He's a drug dealer. He's a gangbanger. He's in and out of jail. Yep, you're probably going to be a poor single mother for the rest of your life. Probably. You know, keyword is probably.